C of the Cactus Classic. BYU versus Georgia Bulldogs. Getting things kicked off. BYU now and Georgia battling things off for the final game of our evening day slate. And one of the final games in the Cactus Classic. This will be the final one on Field C, and then we'll have award ceremonies following this. But as of now, BYU starts out. BYU will be rocking the black and blues, and Georgia, the Bulldogs, will be rocking the white and reds. Good turnout on both sides so far, but more exciting fun and action underway. So far, Bulldogs charging on the inside, not able to get anything to fall. Now BYU back with possession. Georgia now trying to battle off with some tight defense. BYU leading the front attack. BYU being guarded closely. That's a great defense. Tough game. Georgia also one of the favorites coming into the whole tournament. Lots of returners. They finished their last season with a 4-0 conference record, 16-3 overall. The best, one of the best club teams on paper. Handling it now is 27. That's Mia Chambers for the BYU Cougars. Handling this one now is Nelson. Hannah Nelson passing this on the inside. Trying to find something. A little dribbler. Can't find it. And finally scooped up over there by Emily Ware. And Bulldogs taking their time. They'll try to move forward. And they're back in. They'll move up. Handling it now for the Bulldogs. 22, that's Riley Davis. Davis passing this one forward. This one rolls out. Ground ball. Trying to get scooped up by BYU. 4 Bulldogs, 2 Cougars. Kate Johnson now in control. Kate passes this one forward. This one goes for a grounder, rolls back to Bulldogs midfield line. They'll take it up. Bulldogs number 12 has it. That's Kiara Manella. Moving up. Bulldogs trying to be conservative, taking their time, want things to go their way. And again, unfortunately, it is one of our last games on the Cactus Classic slate. It's been a fun weekend so far in Tempe, Arizona. And we thank everybody so much for tuning in. Here's 12. Here again, Kiara moving in forward. Finds top shelf netting. Kiara Manella gets the Bulldogs on the board first. A 1-0 lead early on for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs and Cougars getting set again for the draw. Draw occurs. BYU wins. BYU still chasing it. Ground ball finally picked up by the Bulldogs. Handling it's 12. That's Kiara Manella. She just scored the last goal. First goal on the night so far for Georgia. And Kiara moving up. She'll hand this one off to Kaylee Page. Bulldogs creating some good separation, some good movement inside the arc. Handling it well. That's 23. Bryce Wilson. Wilson dish this one off to Davis. Davis, another handoff to Haley McDaniel. Here's McDaniel. She cuts right, trying to spin left. Now handling it. It's 12. Shot fired, miss. Kiara with an opportunity. Again, Georgia 1-0 after that early goal by Kiara. And so far, Georgia moving in, fires! Got it! Kaylee Page connects. Kaylee Page and the Bulldogs go up 2-0 early on in the first quarter of play. BYU still got a lot of time left in this one. Still over 50-plus minutes to remain. Bulldogs up on top. Kaylee Page did a great job reading the inside crease movement. She got separation. Georgia's been capitalizing on that all night. Just were able to get ahead and put things in their favor. BYU now getting set for the draw alongside Georgia Bulldogs. And BYU off to the races. Hannah Nelson got it. Nelson will pass this one out to Holly Huntington. Whitney Sheffield joined alongside him. Handling it against 27. That's Mia Chambers. BYU trying to move forward. Here's Nelson. She'll dish this one right back over to Chambers. Chambers throw this one to the opposite end. Handling it now is Kate Johnson. Kate rolling out to her left. She'll rotate along the backside of the netting. She'll get this one off to Nelson. Nelson trying to step forward. She'll sling this one right over to Sheffield. Handling this one well is BYU. Nelson now looking for an opening attack. She tries to cut left. She tries to cut right. Can't find anything just yet. Dealing with it is Chambers. Chambers will scoop and pass this one right off to Holly Huntington. Here's Nelson on the inside. Fires. Top shelf. Misses. Just short. And just high if you want to be particular about it. Nelson had the opportunity. Just missed. Here's BYU trying to scoop this one away. And this will be awarded back to Bulldogs. This will go out of bounds on BYU. Bulldogs to move it forward. Doing a good job on the front row attack. Bulldogs, number 14, Avery Finley moving up. Solid attacks here. Finley still on the far end of the fan. She'll move forward. Stepping up now is 23. That's Bryce Wilson. Wilson on the left side. Now Jillian Fulick. She'll pass it towards Finley. Finley now on the inside. They'll reach. They'll throw. Top shelf margin. Got it. Number 11, Nikki Chester. And Nikki Chester being able to find top shelf. That hits the back row. And now Georgia goes up 3-0 against the Cougars. So far, in case anybody is indeed curious, the games we've seen so far on Field C. First one, 20-0 UC Santa Barbara over Oregon State. Second, Michigan State versus GCU. Over 6+ lead changes in this game, 15-13 in the final. And previously, we had Clemson take on San Diego State. 10-14 was the final. SDSU fell short by 4. However, still an exciting one here between Georgia and BYU. 3-0. Georgia's attack's been aggressive. BYU's defense and offense has both performed well, needing to step up in the bigger moments. And BYU trying to put a stop to this offensive attack. However, moving up on it's Mia Pisani. BYU will try and pick this one up. Ground ball. And Georgia can't pick it up. BYU finally tries it. And kind of a harder check, but nonetheless, that'll be given towards Georgia. Georgia now has the opportunity to open the scoring even further. Here's the rush, the throw. Tries to go top bin. Can't get it. Good block by BYU's number 35. Apologies, number 34, Anna Kreppel. BYU moving it forward. 3-on-4 attack. Handling it well. Here's 22. That's going to be Abby Deegan. Deegan dishes this one off to number 5. That's Tessa Fry. Handling it, Hannah Nelson. Nelson will dish this one right back out to Kelly Gibson. Gibson fires this one away. BYU trying to make an attack on the inside crease. They run forward, trying to get it to go. Doesn't have a shooting lane, and that gets scooped up by Georgia. Solid poke by the defense. Georgia now on a 4-on-4. Georgia will take their time. Try to get something with inside the arc. Can't do it. Holding on to it's number 12, Kira Manella. And Georgia snagging this one away. Grab this. Number 20, Kaylee Page has it. Page over to Finley. Finley right back over to number 10. That's Megan Heflin. Heflin right back over to McDaniel. Now Georgia trying to storm in. BYU, great defense. BYU doing a stellar job stepping up inside the arc and putting a stop to that Georgia attack. However, Georgia trying to go right back to it. Kira Manella trying to get something started here. Finds something inside the arc. Goes for the bounce shot. Great scoop up, however, by BYU. They'll continue to move this upfield. Far end. They'll dish this one out to the left side. Gibson now has control of it. Still on the far end. They'll throw this one even further. That's to number 27, Mia Chambers. A little bit of a rough and ground ball picked up again by BYU. BYU's number 4, that's Lisa Van Valkenburg. She'll take it. Here's a quick step to her right. Tessa Fry in control, top of the key. And that one gets dropped. Ground ball now. Trying to fight for it is BYU. BYU trying to scoop it. And Kelly Gibson now in pursuit. Solid passing now by Georgia. Georgia's in a 3-on-3 attacking formation. Georgia trying to make something happen before the rest of the defense catches up. 4 people inside the crease and the arc. Georgia's got some time to potentially make something happen. Here's a shot! And a great save by Anna Kreppel. And Megan Heflin let that one rip. BYU now at midfield trying to move up into Georgia's box. Still the first quarter of play. Bulldogs 3, BYU nothing just yet. Still trying to put themselves in the scoring column. Great passing. Number 5 handling it well. That's Tessa Fry. Fry will dish this one off to Nelson. Nelson cuts left, cuts right. Good deke moves. Jukes on the inside. Trying to get something to go. Passing it over to Tessa Fry. Fry will dump this one right back out. Fry passed that over to Henderson. And now BYU trying to move around some pieces. BYU trying to play a little more conservatively. Cougars trying to make an aggressive attack. Here's Kelly Gibson. Gibson almost gets picked off. Good stick handling, some good cradling skills. There's Valkenburg. Valkenburg drops this one. This gets passed right back to her. Gibson now at the top of the fan. She'll try to pass this on the inside. Still nothing going for her. Fake shot. Gibson rolls over to her left. She'll pass this one out to the left side. This one is a ground ball. Getting poked around. Lots of people chasing it. No one's inside the net just yet. And almost got that shot off. BYU had an opportunity. Georgia trying to move up with it. In their own backfield. Solid passing work. Now handling it, Megan Heflin. Heflin will dish this one right back out to Page. Page on the inside. Tries to find an open teammate. Roll the way, almost out of bounds. Georgia will pick it up. Handling it again well. It's Riley Davis. Davis again right back to Heflin. Heflin to Page. Some good passing. Again, here's Davis. Davis will just dish this off to McDaniel. Daniel back out to Davis. And here's Davis trying to storm in. Tries to go upper top shelf. Gets denied. And now moving forward is BYU. BYU at midfield trying to move up with it. Ground ball recovered by Georgia. Georgia trying to get this one back to midfield. Here is Page. Page passing along to Davis. Now handling it is number 6, Mia Halbert. Halbert storming upwards. Joining alongside her is number 18. That's Mia Pisani. Sani. Now Georgia being guarded tightly here. Some good defense being played out by BYU. Trying to storm in is Georgia. Georgia trying to get themselves an even better lead. Now Georgia trying to storm in. Tries to go cross body. Top shelf. Got it. And a rough opening. But nonetheless, a beautiful goal by number 20 by Kaylee Page. She strikes again. Four to nothing so far through the first quarter of play. Georgia Bulldogs capitalizing on every aggressive fast break opportunity. BYU's playing solid defense. Conservative offense pace is something that they know needs to change. BYU's got the opportunities. They just need to make the most of it. And Cougars and Bulldogs line up for the draw. And still awaiting the draw. This gets kicked up. BYU trying to take it. Sticks collide. Bulldogs pick it up. Handling it is Page. Page marching upward. Page wanting to move forward. She does. Pass this one along. Page back at it. Tries to go for a shot and just wide. Solid game so far for Georgia through the first quarter of play. Bulldogs trying to play upwards on ball pressure defense. Georgia moving upward. Toss this one on the inside. Try to get a shot off, and they do. That was Haley McDaniel who came raining in. And number 5 gets goal number 5 for the Georgia Bulldogs. And for anybody who doesn't know, the Georgia Bulldogs just hit 5 big booms for the 5 goals they scored off of number 5. So 5's all the way around here for the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs as well as BYU Cougars line up now for the draw. Up. Then BYU trying to holiday. Georgia will grab it. Solid scoop by Paige. Paige will run forward with it. She's on the far end of the fan. Trying to get something on the inside. Fires away once again. Kylie Paige. And Kaylee Paige turns the page as she gets a hat trick and she adds it to the books. 6-0 now for Georgia. Bulldogs here in the first quarter of play. Up by 6. This one's up, flicked away. Great job here by BYU. BYU moving forward, handling it number 9. That's Malia Hansen. Hansen tried to move upward for BYU. Not able to do so just there. BYU trying to take their time, play more conservatively. They want something to go their way. BYU's begging for a goal, and that horn signal an end to the first quarter of play. The BYU Cougars down by 6. Bulldogs been able to capitalize, and same with Kaylee Paige. And we'll turn the page into intermission. We'll be back after a few short messages. Hello, and everybody. Welcome back to more action-packed Cactus Classic action, as I should say, here on the South Mountain Sports Radio and TV broadcast on YouTube. My name is Kai Jenagamis, joined alongside me, Matt Weisker. Still, second quarter of lacrosse left to play. BYU's down by 6 against Georgia, looking for a comeback. Hannah Nelson will try to move this one forward. BYU inside the opposing arc, trying to get a shot off. BYU just looking for something across the center. BYU moving forward. Handling it is 27. That's Mia Chambers. Chambers dished this one right back out to Malia Hansen. BYU trying to pick up a ground ball. That'll be awarded back to Georgia as they'll pick it up themselves. Georgia moving forward with it. This one back. Their own end. Emily Ware taking this one. Handling it again is Alexandra Young. Young right back over to Paige. Paige now dishing this one right back over to 18. That's Pisani. Pisani will dish this one back above the net. She'll cut, throw it to her right. Tries to go top bin. And they'll say she got it. Pisani gets on the board for Georgia. And Mia Pisani makes this a 7-0 game. And Georgia doing a phenomenal job here. Georgia and BYU getting squared away again for another draw. Things starting to pick up again for both these teams. Georgia back in control. Georgia moving along BYU's own end. Jackson McDaniel handling it now. McDaniel now. And Georgia passing it back and forth between the left side of the fan. Handling it is Bryce Wilson. Wilson now in control on the left side. Wilson trying to move forward with it. Looking for a screen inside the arc. Now passing it over to Jillian Fullick. Fullick now in possession, top of the fan. Fullick back over to 18. That's Pisani. Pisani scored the latest goal for Georgia. Now handling its 15. That's Jackson McDaniel behind the net. Georgia trying to move forward. BYU's defense adding some pressure. This on the inside. Tries to go for a top shelf shot. Went over the head. And that was Jillian Fullick who thought she could get that one in, but she gets knocked loose. And Georgia get this one right back. Georgia with some good stick work. Trying to handle this one. Georgia trying to move up on the far end. On the near side of the fan. Back in possession again is Pisani. Pisani on the left side. Now holding it, Nikki Chester. Chester passing this one back over to Fullick. Georgia trying to make an advance on the inside arc. Alternating, moving key pieces across the inside. Finds Pisani, and she got it. And what has she got? She's got herself another goal. Pisani with her 8th goal of the day. Sorry, her 2nd goal of the day. 8th goal for Georgia in total. Pisani and the Bulldogs are absolutely wheeling and dealing. The Bulldogs are absolutely barking up the right tree. I've heard of the saying, it's raining cats and dogs, but currently it's just raining goals for the Bulldogs. 8-0 now. Bulldogs getting ready for the draw, waiting this opportunity against BYU. The Cougars have had a good tournament so far within the Cactus Classic. So far, we've seen them twice in this tournament. For today, we've also seen Georgia perform outstandingly as well in this one. They've been one of the better attacking teams so far in this tournament. Enjoyed every second broadcasting to you guys via the South Mountain Sports Network. It's been hilarious, it's been fun, it's been joyful, and it's been a lot of excitement. And BYU moving in on an attack, trying to get something to go. They're inside Georgia territory now. BYU making advances, handling at 17. That's Amelia Henderson. BYU trying to get to the near side, flicked out of bounds. And apparently that'll be white ball. BYU, looks like the referee got a little tripped up on where the out-of-bounds line ends, but nonetheless, ball will be given right back to Georgia. BYU trying to play some hard and aggressive defense. Now Georgia back in their own midfield trying to get this one away. Here's another ground ball. This one almost gets picked off. However, received and recovered by Georgia. Handling its 5, McDaniel. McDaniel now making an advance towards BYU goal. Handling it right now is Pisani. Pisani's knocking on the door of a hat trick. Now in possession, McDaniel once again. Just in case you are curious, yes, that is an airplane you're most likely hearing. Scottsdale Airport's just right next to us. So if anybody wants to catch a late second game to watch at the Cactus Classic in Tempe, or they want to come watch the award ceremony, there's an airport right next to us. And speaking of an airport, this one comes flying in from Georgia. And the Bulldogs go up once more, 9-0. And the Bulldogs continue to not let anybody in their doghouse, as they are still holding BYU scoreless. That last goal is the credit to number 19. That's Megan McFarland. 9-0 is the score now. We'll have a quick timeout. We'll be back after a brief intermission. Georgia Bulldogs, 9. The BYU Cougars, nothing. Welcome back to the South Mountain Sports Network on YouTube. My name's Kai Genagabis, your play-by-play and color commentator. Joined alongside me, Matt Weisker. He's my camera operator, my smooth operator. And now, getting ready for another draw at midfield. BYU taking on the Bulldogs. Cougars, Cats and Dogs matchup. And 9-0 is the score here between both these teams. Bulldogs in the lead. Georgia has been a top go-getter and top goal-getter in this entire Cactus Classic tournament, and we're seeing that play out here against the Cougars. So far, Kaylee Page has a hat trick. Mia Pisani knocking on the door of it. Moving forward is BYU. BYU shoving off a few blocks, and a body check might result in the free shot. And it does. BYU an opportunity to get themselves in the scoring column. Taking a shot. We'll see what is in store. Moving forward, takes the overhead. Snagged by Nair. Another huge opportunity for BYU. We've already seen a shutout this morning. That was against Oregon State, and UC Santa Barbara final score was 20-0. Now here's Ware trying to get this one out. They do just that. Handling it, Skylar DeLuca. Moving forward as well with it is Megan McFarland. She scored in her last time. BYU trying to go for another movement. However, it seems like we'll have a green card. And that green card will be awarded to 23. That's Madeline Larkin. Now moving up with it, Georgia on the left side of the fan. Doing a good job being able to push this to the center. Haley McDaniel now trying to move forward, and a snipe! There it is! Georgia doing everything and anything they want tonight against BYU. That's the 10th goal for Georgia, and they give themselves a 10-0 lead over BYU. And scoreboard here says 10-21, but don't mind it. There's a little breezy here. And it is indeed 10-0 here between Georgia and BYU. We have a manual scoreboard here tonight, so the wind is indeed picking up on it, flipping it over a few pages. Breeze does feel nice, especially after a hot Tempe, Arizona day. And Lacrosse action back at it, waiting for the draw at mid. Ref blows, there it goes. And now Georgia picking it up, handling its number 2. That's Jillian Fullick. Now Georgia moving upwards with it. Good passing movements across the side of the field. Handling it now is Pisani. Pisani dishing it to the mid. And Gibson able to swap this one away. Gibson now for BYU, trying to bring this one forward. Gibson turning on the worm burners. And she gets hit with a body check. She'll step forward on it. Gibson will move forward. This one gets deflected out. And Georgia fights for it. Pisani able to dig this one out. Pisani stepping forward with it. This gets swatted away. BYU moves forward. Cougars on the advance. All the way on the far end. That's 23, Madeline Larkin. And a side pass, beautifully executed. BYU trying to move up in on it. Georgia scooping, gets it. Number 11, Nikki Chester, is able to get that one forward to her teammate 23, Bryce Wilson. Wilson now, 4-3 opportunity for Georgia. Pass this one towards the middle end. Fires, throws, top shelf. Kira Manila scores her second of the night. And the Bulldogs chance reigning from their sideline. 11-0 against BYU. And I'll second what they say. Who let the dogs out? And BYU, their aggressive offense has been a real game changer here. And getting ready for another draw. Georgia and BYU. Low waiting for it. Always takes a minute or two to get a line. And referee will back off. The whistle blows, and there it goes. BYU fighting for it along Georgia. And we'll have a hold. Automatic award to BYU. BYU moving forward with it. Whitney Sheffield moving up front. Sheffield trying to find something here. Here's Nelson at the top of the fan. She'll fan this one out to the left side. She'll move forward to her left. She'll back up. That's Kelly Gibson. Gibson moving along the back end. Trying to cut across. Went for a C cut. Didn't work. Handling it. That was Valkenburg. They'll hand that one off to Gibson. Gibson back to Nelson. Nelson now passing it back to 21. That's Brenna Miller. And moving forward with it is Nelson. Nelson trying to get a pass off to Gibson. Gibson able to maintain control. And here's a little bit of a high pass. That's Valkenburg trying to save it before it goes out. And she does just so. Barely able to dig that one out. Here's Valkenburg and the Cougars moving forward. And here's the advance now, trying to move up on it. BYU falling out to the top shelf is Nelson. And oh my! Off the top bar. A rough one indeed. Georgia on the Bulldogs, both fighting for it. Bulldogs in dangerous territory. Jillian Follick moving things along too. Number 9, it's Shea Edwards. Passing it again is 20. That's Kaylee Page. Stepping up, Bulldogs looking for opportunities and more. Trying to fire on the inside. Trying to go top shelf. Great block by BYU. And BYU moving forward with it now. BYU trying to stay aggressive on offense. Moving up. Getting chased. Mia Chambers. And Horn for the opposite end of the field, but not here. Still got a few minutes left of play time to go. Here's Valkenburg. Top. Vulcan will toss this one right off to Gibson. Gibson back out to 5. That was Fry. Now Gibson's still hanging around the top of the fan. And Gibson trying to move along the right side. Trying to make an advantage happen here on the inside. Here's a wide shot just out of reach. This one will roll along. Storming in is Georgia. Georgia trying to go for a counter. Holding on to it is Bryce Wilson. Trying to be aggressive here. And some solid passing, solid stick work, and a great spin move. Firing it in is Kaylee Page. And oh my! Kaylee Page came storming in. Got a spin move, a beautiful pass, 12-0 for Georgia. Kaylee Page with her 4th. Kaylee Page is about to write a whole chapter because that's her 4th goal of the night. Great job by Kaylee Page. And 12-0 the score now. Bulldogs take it on the Cougars. And again, Cougars off to the races, trying to get this one thrown away. Scooping it back up, having some difficulty controlling it, and it won't matter, as that buzzer will signal an end to the first half of play. The Georgia Bulldogs 12 to the BYU 0. And we want to thank everybody so much for tuning in to South Mountain Sports here on YouTube. My name's Kai Jenagabis, your play-by-play in color on Field C. Joined alongside me is Matt Weisker. We would just like to give a quick shout-out to the South Mountain Sports donation and nonprofit. It's located in our description and our YouTube channel profile. If anybody wants to go help support youth in playing lacrosse throughout the United States. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. South Mountain Sports will be back after a brief intermission with some more Cactus Classic action. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to South Mountain Sports. South Mountain Lacrosse for this past weekend. It's been an exciting one. Cactus Classic, BYU Cougars versus Georgia Bulldogs. Field C. Field C is the best field. That's all I got to say. Now, more action coming along. My name's Kai Jenagabis, your play-by-play and color commentator. Join alongside me, Matt Weisker, my smooth camera operator. And it's been a fun one. Georgia up by 12. Not just up by 12, only up by 12, as BYU has still remained scoreless. Still, lots of time for BYU to get up on the board. Waiting second half face-off, second half draw. And awaiting the whistle. The whistle blows, and there it goes. Georgia Bulldogs pick it up. Bulldogs moving forward with it. Strong, aggressive fronts already from Alexandria Young for the Bulldogs. Trying to move it up. Bulldogs doing a great deal of efficiency here. Bulldogs been playing efficiently. The offense has been impactful, and here it goes! And who is it? It's Mia Pisani picking up the hat trick. And that's the 13th goal for the Georgia Bulldogs. And Mia Pisani gets her third, a 13-point lead now for the Bulldogs. Not letting up off the gas at all. Still awaiting the draw. But Bulldogs go up early on in the second half, 13-0. Bulldogs and BYU fans all waiting alike. BYU fans still waiting to see a first goal by the Cougars. Getting set, the whistle blows, and there it goes. Up in the air, BYU can't make it down. They'll scoop it up, though. Spin move, solid move, however, by Kate Johnson. Kate Johnson breaks free. And some solid lacrosse play happening within Bulldogs' own end. And Bulldogs will pick that one off. Falling forward. Now Georgia. Georgia moving up now. 23, Bryce Wilson. Wilson now trying to pass this on the inside. And that'll roll out of bounds. That'll be given right back to BYU. BYU gets this one back. Handling it again is number 14, Sydney Sewell. Apologies, that was number 2, Rebecca Anderson. And BYU still in their own territory, trying to move forward out of their box. BYU doing a good job handing this off. Berkeley Royce moving up with it. Berkeley Royce moving up. She drops this one back, still at the midfield line. She'll push up with it. BYU trying to continue to make solid moves up front. Here's Hannah Nelson. She'll move forward now. Hannah, juke moves out to the left side. Deeks to the right, and she loses it. Georgia maintaining possession. Georgia in a good 4x4 formation. Trying to move up. Handling it is Paige. Paige already 4 goals on the night. Georgia most likely wanting to take advantage of this scenario, but they'll let BYU catch back up. Handling it was Wilson. Wilson handed that one off to McDaniel. McDaniel had solid pass. Passes over. Pisani now behind the net. Pisani right back over to Wilson. Wilson will dish this one right back to Finley. Finley will handle this one. Now in control is Fullick. Fullick now moving over. Another pass over Finley. And Finley will control this one. Handling it again is McDaniel. McDaniel now trying to take the dagger on the inside. Cuts right, cuts left. Throws over the top and can't get it. Georgia now trying to make a move over the back side of the net. This will roll towards the referee. Georgia trying to pick it up. And they finally do. Number 6 got it. Mia Halbert. And now number 12, Kiara Manella in control. Georgia making money moves. Georgia still trying to be aggressive here. Here they go. Georgia on the attack. Number 5, McDaniel trying to move in on the harsh side. And she gets fouled inside the crease. Georgia gets a free shot opportunity. And now a big opportunity for McDaniel. They'll take him steps forward. McDaniel moving over to her right. Goes top shelf. Can't find it. BYU does a good job trying to move forward. They'll pass this one along. Almost gets picked. Trying to move it up now. BYU doing a good job on fast break. Now handling it 22. That's Madeline Larkin. Larkin now on the left side. She gets checked. However, stays in her zone. Larkin surveying. Passing over to Royce. Royce over to Gibson. Gibson hands off to Nelson. Nelson back to Royce. Royce on the left side of the fan. Handling it at the top. That's 5. Tessa Fry. Yeah, it looks like we'll have a foul inside the box. Should be a free shot opportunity for BYU here. And it will indeed be. Hannah Nelson now will be taking this one. She cocks back, rears to the right. Move this one forward. So cut back. Nelson passing it along. Kate Johnson now on the right side. BYU trying to pass this one forward, and a squandered opportunity to say the least. BYU was waiting to take an impact. We also do have women's basketball. ASU playing BYU just right down the road. Another game starting just about now. Speaking of, ASU now finally wrapping up their final games of today on the slate for the late games on Saturday. Finally wrapping up the rest of the Cactus Classic. But here we still got more action between Georgia and the BYU Cougars. Shaka and mahalo for everybody to watching. And now we're going to have another free shot opportunity for Georgia. Now Georgia has the opportunity to really break open this one more than it already has been. Georgia takes the advance. That'll be number 10, Heflin. Heflin steps forward, fires, delivers. And a great opportunity squandered. Great job by BYU's defense, stepping it up. That'll roll out of bounds. Referee points. Says it's out. And Georgia will move up with it. Handling it's 25. That's Harris. Harris dishes this one all the way out to Heflin. Heflin on the far side of the fan. And Heflin, a little complacent. She'll finally dish this one right back off to 19. That's McFarland. Farland right back out to Heflin. Heflin on the backside of the net, far end. She's looking for something for Georgia. Still nobody within the crease. No screens really been set for Georgia. Done a great job at kind of moving at their own pace. And some solid movement here on the right end. And that gets picked off. Number 15, Jackson McDaniel with the defense. And here's Georgia trying to move this one along the far end. And running past it, actually, it was Mia Chambers. And Georgia was still able to hold on. Great job by both of these teams. The offense, the aggressive onslaught that Georgia's put on has been outstanding, to say the least, throughout this whole tournament. Now handling number 20 for BYU. That'll be, apologies for Georgia, that was Megan McFarland and Kaylee Page that were in the mix. Now stepping up, trying to get something over, was Nikki Chester. She wasn't able to do so, but BYU's got some good defense still in their sleeves. BYU will toss this one forward. Solid juke moves around by the defensive line. Now handling it's number 5, Tessa Fry. Fry trying to handle it. Ground ball picked up, scooped up by BYU. Cougars trying to move in on the far end. Trying to pass it around. BYU's had some struggles, really trying to get up close and personal with some of the goalkeeper. Here's Sheffield. Sheffield now trying to move it forward. And Sheffield's now still got it at the top of the fan. Should move this one to the left side. Trying to cut to the left. That was Tessa Fry. Nelson, right back to Fry. Fry trying to move across the inside. Tries to fire. She won't take it. She'll just give this back off to Gibson. Gibson now still at the top of the fan. Trying to build something. Here's Sheffield. Sheffield just right back. BYU is still a little complacent with some of the passing skills. BYU trying to make the advance forward. Cougars in some dangerous territory. This gets poked away. And automatic BYU ball. BYU making some solid cuts. I'll get knocked away Georgia will get back possession on this one. Georgia now moving forward. Handling it, number 20. It's Kaylee Page. Kaylee Page dished this one away. Georgia trying to make another aggressive attack here in the later stages of the third quarter. Again, it's been a fun one, full of lots of excitement. Weather in Tempe has been heating up on us just a little bit as we've gone throughout our day. It's starting to get a little hot out here, but the nice breeze has been And now back to the play. Georgia dishing this one away. This one getting passed along the top of the fan. Georgia trying to find some momentum that they had early on in the first half. Hasn't been rekindled just the same way in the second half. Georgia's Kaylee Page trying to move up and on the inside. Scooped. This one gets dumped away, but still handling it is number 10. That's Heflin. Moving this along the backside. 19. That's McFarland. Trying to move it forward. Heflin doesn't have anywhere to run. She'll move along the backside of the net. Trying to move with this on the inside. Heflin gets hit a little hard inside the creases. However, this will roll over and Georgia won't maintain possession. That'll be given back to BYU. And apologies, it'll be staying with Georgia. Handling it is Chester. Chester now on the far side. She'll dish this one off. Handling it again is Page. Now BYU trying to move forward with it. A little bit of a scuffle at the midway point. Be given back to BYU. Cougars moving up with it. And with that, that'll signal an end to the third quarter of play. Georgia drops one in the third quarter. 13-0 still is the score. Could be our second shutout that we've seen on Field C. Who knows? We'll be back after this brief intermission. Hey everybody, welcome back to South Mountain Sports in Tempe, Arizona. My name is Kai Zinagabis. Join alongside me, Matt Weisiker, my smooth camera operator. I'll be your play-by-play and color commentator for this final game of the Cactus Classic. The Lax tournament here in Tempe has been phenomenal. Georgia, BYU, 13-0. Who knows? Does BYU have a miracle? Georgia handling it well on their own side in the top of the fan. Handling it is 14. That's Avery Finley. This will kind of roll almost out of bounds, and that'll be Rebecca Anderson. Lay down that check. Georgia will maintain possession. Georgia doing a great job playing this aggressive offense that they've done all season long and so far all tournament long too. Here's a pass on the inside loop, able to find number 10, Megan Heflin. And Georgia strikes one more time. And make it 14-1. Sorry, 14-0 against BYU. Nice. BYU still scoreless, 14-0, Georgia. Who knows? BYU might have another miracle up their sleeve. Georgia looking to continue their aggressive offense. The on-ball pressure has been real between both these teams. BYU's done a great job all game long, too, playing some aggressive defense. They've done a great job, too, setting up their shots conservatively. Handling it now, though, is Megan McFarland. Now handling it again is Georgia. Georgia strikes once more. And the Bulldogs continue to be just as aggressive as the start. Number 1, Allie Joswick coming in with Georgia's 15th goal of the game. And again, Georgia keeping up with that same aggressive first half that they had. And Georgia now battling against BYU. And whistle blows and the ball goes. Now BYU in possession. Nelson on the far end. Nelson trying to move forward now. Solid passing. Great stick work. Some good cradling skills. Firing is BYU and almost. Could have been the break they needed. BYU now still in charge. BYU holding top frame so far. BYU holding it down so far at Georgia's end. And Georgia will get this one right back. Solid cradling. Georgia on the attack. 4-on-4 advance for Georgia. They can play this well. Georgia passing this one along. This will fall back to midfield. Georgia scooping it. Picking it up with 16, DeLuca. Georgia playing it well, being conservative too in BYU's end, trying to tick down some time. But again, you're also wanting goals. It is a tournament. All goals matter. Here's Lacrosse, dishing it over as 14 to Avery Finley. Avery Finley now deking out to the right side. Tries to spin, tries to go over the head, trying to find an open teammate within the crease. Wasn't able to do so. Picking that right back up, however, is McDaniel. McDaniel right back over to Heflin. Now marching up on the inside. That's McDaniel once more. And BYU tries to scoop this one away. And BYU not able to hold on. Georgia takes it right back. Georgia trying to step forward with it. Lead with their best foot forward in this late attack. Georgia marching up front. Here's a high shot, but a great save by BYU's Anna Krappel. Avery Finley with an excellent shot, but an even better save by Anna. And here's a pass. Little too much on it. That'll roll out. BYU not able to control. Georgia takes back the attacking lead they've had. Again, regardless of what the score says, still been a fun one in this. BYU now back with possession, trying to move up on the near sideline. And this gets poked away, checked away, trying to go for the scoop here. Georgia, BYU's Rebecca Anderson gets it away. Anderson tossing it forward. Great job on the movement. Moving towards midfield. Handling it's Tessa Fry. Fry dishes this one out to Nelson. Nelson dekes out to the left side. Nelson passing this one along at the top of the frame. Fanning this one on the inside. BYU's got it. They got there first. BYU finally strikes and gets on the board. The Cougars avoid the shutout. They drastically erase the deficit. No. 13-1 is the official scoring now. Or apologies, 15-1. Who knows, a miracle still could be in store for BYU. Georgia Bulldogs, their aggressive onslaught has been phenomenal. The offense has been the name of the game for Georgia the whole tournament. BYU's done an excellent job, however, on defense. They've been great. And whistle blows, and there it goes. Ball's kicked around. Georgia trying to pick it up. Georgia wanting a little bit of vengeance for the last goal by BYU. Now moving this one forward. Georgia doing a good job controlling it inside BYU territory. BYU playing solid defense through the second half. Now storming in number 9, that's going to be Shea Edwards. Shea Edwards tried to storm in. Now 14, that's going to be McLaughlin. McLaughlin spin moves, dekes out to the right. Try to get one over the center. Centering pass, throws on the inside post. And a beautiful block by Anna. Great offense by Georgia so far. Handling it well. Number 9, Shea Edwards. Shea Edwards drops this one. A little bit of a scuffle for this. Georgia, BYU both fighting. Rebecca Anderson tried digging this one away. This will roll out to the left side. BYU fighting. Georgia has managed to grab it. Bit of a wider pass, but still nonetheless, Finley's able to haul it. And Georgia trying to storm in from the near end of the post. Nothing going for them just yet. Finley taking her time, finds patience, throws over the front side and found her. That was number 9, Shea Edwards, connecting for Georgia. The Bulldogs extend their lead 16-1. Now a 15-point deficit faces BYU. Nonetheless, BYU still has an opportunity to get back on the board at least one more time. And BYU getting ready to face off with Georgia just one more time. And still awaiting the draw. Taking a little bit of time to set up. Finally, the whistle blows, and there it goes. Ball's up. Georgia moving this one forward. Still not happy about BYU's goal from earlier. BYU's defense staying aggressive, not wanting to allow anything else past them. Handling it's Finley. Finley being aggressive herself. Handling it well as Georgia over the top, trying to find Heflin. Heflin spin moves, dekes out to the left. Oh, and Georgia almost came out big. And BYU still playing some tight defense. Avery Finley now in control. Finley will dish this one out to the left side. Spin moves. Heflin tries to fly over. Now McLaughlin. McLaughlin trying to get this one across to the crease. Rebecca Anderson steals it away. Anderson almost drops this one. Spins out to her left. Friends and teammates and company. BYU in possession. Take this around. Anderson to her right. Anderson dishes this one up. And Georgia takes it right back. That's Pisani. Pisani dishing this over to the right side. Handling it again is Megan McFarland. Shea Edwards in possession. Edwards out to Avery. Avery back out to Pisani. Pisani back over to Heflin. Heflin, Avery. Avery to Edwards. Edwards spin moves, dekes out to the left side. Can't do anything so far, steps back to the fan. Now handling it again is Avery. Avery now trying to move along the right side. She dekes left, trying to find something over the head. Shot, can't get anything to go. And quick little slip trick there on Georgia's behalf, but BYU is able to snag it. Now BYU playing the far side. BYU trying to stay aggressive on offense. And BYU taking the advance towards midfield. And this gets picked off by Georgia. Georgia's McFarland will march forward. She dekes left. She'll wait for fellow teammates and the rest of her company. This one flying around. Avery at the top of the fan. Avery jukes right. And that'll signal an end to not only this game, but also to the Cactus Classic. And the final, Georgia 16, BYU 1. And a beautiful, beautiful day in Tempe, Arizona. The Georgia Bulldogs take down the BYU Cougars. It was a fun one for the Cactus Classic. But at the end, still, we have the award ceremony to go. We will keep everybody posted through the YouTube channel, I believe, with the official award ceremony. Again, Bulldogs close it out at the Cactus Classic on Field C, the best of the three fields, 16-1.